if you recall back to 2013, around those years, one of the developments was the recognition on the part of the international community that this is not just a DRC issue, this is a regional issue, that it requires a regional response. And two things happened. One is the Force Intervention Brigade was established, initially proposed by the ICGLR, later on endorsed by the PSC, and then it was integrated into the UN. And therefore you have that. But it was recognized also that there is a need for regional understanding, trust, and cooperation among the countries of the region.
How can we explain what we are seeing as a very fast response by the East African community to look for a solution to this by deciding that a force needs to be deployed to this region of conflict? I
think the speed with which the East African region is responding is basically to avoid the escalation of the situation into a major blowback, because there is grave risk that we may actually experience major fighting happening again in the Eastern DRC that may draw the troops of different countries into the DRC, which is a very dangerous situation.
Well, the aspect of the practicability or the implementation of the force, I mean, we've seen previous times when forces have been deployed, decisions have been made, but they just never moved, it remained on paper. How can we make sure, or how can the EAC make sure that this force really gets on the ground and is effective? Because right now we even have an issue of contention of who should be part of this force, which country?
Sure, I mean, you see that's why there has to be consensus and mutual understanding as well as cooperation and trust between the countries who are involved for purpose of undertaking this exercise. That is the first one. You need also to have a political strategy, because whether we like it or not, it's not the size of these armed rebel groups that is the most decisive factor. Okay, so for me, it's not necessarily the plan to deploy a military force that is more important. It is the kind of political understanding that they reach at that is so critical. If they reach at a certain political understanding, okay, and de-escalate the mounting tension between particularly DRC and Rwanda, I think that is a success. All right, because that would prevent the potential of this mounting tension with the sporadic exchange of fires between DRC and Rwanda